Hey everybody, Photo Adventure here. I'm driving, heading north. So I thought I would just give a good introduction to this series of videos. And pardon me because I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to driving while I'm talking here, just to be extra safe. Probably shouldn't be recording while driving, but quite frankly I'm bored out of my mind on this drive already, and I shouldn't be. Probably also because I'm really excited. I've done this kind of a adventure before, but this one's going to be just a little bit different. So I'm headed up into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I live in the Lower Peninsula down roughly 30 miles northeast of Detroit. And I'm heading up into the UP. Tonight is just basically driving up, staying in a motel out of St. Ignace. For those that know Michigan, that's right over the bridge, right over the Mackinac Bridge, just as you get into the Upper Peninsula. Got a little motel lined up there, just something fairly inexpensive, a place to stay for the night. You can probably see in the camera there behind me that my motorcycle's loaded into my truck. That's a 2017 Beta 500 RRS, pretty much outfitted for lightweight adventure riding. And tonight I go into St. Ignace, I stay there for the night. In the morning I get up, I put some soft bags and luggage on my motorcycle. I've got a friend meeting me up there. He's going to be riding a KTM 500 EXC. We're basically going to get on the bikes and follow, as a rough plan, with some side routes as well, but as a rough plan, we're going to follow the Upper Peninsula Adventure Trail as defined by Cannon Shot on ADV Rider forums, if you're familiar with that. He's kind of the pioneer of setting up that route and doing all the legwork to figure out how best to route and get motorcycles through on a fun ride with changing terrain and changing riding styles, but keeping it as much off pavement as possible, which is basically the exact kind of riding I like to do. The entire loop actually starts from the bridge, and you can either head north up towards Paradise or west towards, well, Iron Mountain eventually and all that. But the loop is, I think, over 1,200 miles. I tend to cut one small segment off. I tend not to go over to the Porcupine Mountain area just because that's all paved, and I've been over there so many times camping and stuff that I don't really need to ride through it. But I also add a few sections of single track here and there, or some ATV trails and stuff in some areas that are a little more challenging to ride, but since I ride a fairly lightweight bike, it just adds a little more spice to the adventure. Our plans this trip are mainly to camp. You know, if we just feel we need a shower, we're going to motel it for a night if necessary, do some clothes washing and, you know, sleep in a bed for a night or whatever. But generally speaking, we're really gunning for camping. I don't want to jinx it, but weather reports, although it's a long distance, or long time frame I should say, really looks pretty good. Mid-70s for highs, 50s at night, low 50s. Which is pretty good camping weather, and we're coming in just before a lot of the mosquitoes really get crazy up there, but black flies will be out, especially along the northern coast, if it's anything like my previous trips. Now, I've done this kind of adventure on almost this exact route several times now, but every time in the past has been solo. I did this route on a BMW 700 GS, which is a 500-pound plus bike, big fat, pig of an adventure bike that's like a rolling couch on the highway, but no good in deep sand unless you really are very skilled and like picking your bike up a lot, at least for my riding skill level. It was still terribly fun, but honestly, after dropping the bike 3 times in a given day, I was pretty wiped out after picking it up and such, so I actually traded that in because I was also starting to really get the bug back from being off-road. I got a Yamaha WR250R, and I rode this loop twice on that in the same year. That was great. Fantastic bike, absolutely bulletproof. It just lasts forever. Maintenance intervals were just crazy good. I never had to worry about that bike at all. I just missed the excitement factor a little bit. I wanted something that had a little more fun when I did want to get a little fast and loose, especially when unloaded, going up on, you know, just weekend trail riding trips and stuff. So that's why I ended up with this Beta. This is way more bike than this rider can handle. So there's not a concern of outgrowing the power capabilities on it. This will be my first time doing the loop on this bike. All the rest of my gear is pretty much the same. I'll go over gear. I'll try to do it in one night, maybe in camp or something, and get more specifics on all of that. And well, I've still got another 100 plus miles to go to get up to the motel tonight, and then get our final pack all in place and get everything ready for the morning trip to head out. That's my plan. I will try and record video, little segments, as often as I can to keep everybody aware of how each leg of the trip is going. There's plenty of video blogs and write-ups and stuff on this particular route, all over ADV Rider and other groups and such, especially on Cannon Shot's website. Again, thanks to Cannon Shot for all the effort in setting up these kind of routes, because it gives us a base to work from where we can mix it up, change routes, you know, add a little GLDS route or whatnot in between, or just see a random trail and want to try it. It just gives you kind of a goal, if you will, or a rough guide that we can drop on our GPSs or phones and just ride it and enjoy ourselves mindlessly, or play around and always have a route to get back to, and know that we have gas at reasonable intervals, which for the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is a good concern for sure. If 2 gas stops are out in a row, most bikes are going to be stranded, so you've got to pay attention to where you are, where you're going, and where the nearest gas stops are, and having a pre-built route is very helpful. So I'll keep everybody updated, and reminds me I need to get my remote synced into my GoPro so I don't have to push the goofy button.